wimp.
I don't know why, but something is wrong.
Rule Britannia.
The TV is crazy and the truth has gone. I might be crazy, but I think we're done. There are people out there who are adverse to fun.
Communism is king.
It's on your news. Even your neighbor has been here. You can see it on YouTube. It's time to shine a light. All the things they don't want you. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next.
Commander Worf, don't be a cunt.
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
Having a ball.
Fuck you, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
That's for B4.
What can I do? People know the truth.
Shut the fuck up.
What's true? That's why we gotta shine a light. Shine a light, shine a light. We gotta shine a light. Oh yeah. Together forever. Yeah. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next. Yeah. Tom Generation Next. The Unity Channel. Zero News to now. Tom Generation Next. It's gonna shine a light. Generation X.
Welcome, I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News. Ooh, let me entertain you. Let's get moving. So, still on a new channel. We should be getting out the Getters again today. So again, Getter, sorry about the little dip for a week there. I was putting stuff out on YouTube, but didn't think it was necessarily worth moving across. So I've been trying to avoid doing certain videos at the moment because there's, like, some of you came up with a really valid idea, and it's the same idea I had myself, which was when you got a bunch of stories together, rather than keep recording them, then uploading them, keep recording, then uploading them, keep those stories for the day and then put them together at the end of the day to make a better video. I agree. So I'm trying to keep those things away, but the problem is with doing that is some news, as you know, gets old very quickly, so I'm trying to balance the two. So today I'm going to sort of try and avoid the main things that I'm working on. But the first thing is it's not major, but it's interesting to me. So I noticed that because obviously I've closed my big channel down on YouTube. I noticed with obviously this channel, but I've got other channels, and I noticed some of them are a lot bigger. And I don't know why I didn't move you guys over to them, but it doesn't matter. I've opened a couple of those channels up, and I'm running them completely differently from how I'm running this one, and just see which one takes off. So this is still the channel to come to. I'm going to try varying the content on the others just a little bit. But anyway, as some of you know, there was a channel where I was trolling Owen Jones non-stop. And I do think I need to aim higher than Owen Jones. But it's amazing because communist outlets are a bit like Nazi outlets in as much as there's not many of them. This is why people like Mark Collette have 100,000 subscribers, or used to, for instance, because there aren't many people who are willing to go out there and share those beliefs. And it's the same with the communists and that. It's like they don't have many places to go, except for places like Owen Jones's channel and other people like that. So those channels tend to get bigger numbers as a result. But there's still, in terms of like Owen Jones's core, even the people that like him say he's annoying. Anyway, so I made these videos, which were really, they weren't actually designed to troll the left. They were just very early attempts at satire. Or more to the point, very early attempts at animation. And so the left came on when I dared to make an animation about Owen Jones. About 500 of them came on to attack me, which was brilliant, because I just started the channel, and as many of you know, whether you've got dislikes, likes, people hating you, loving you, if they're interacting in the comments, if they're interacting with your channel, they're growing it. And I didn't hide anything. I told these people, you are helping me grow my channel. Every time you respond, every time you do anything, you're helping me grow. The only way you can hurt me is via indifference. So it wasn't like I kept it a secret from them. I told them the way to defeat me. I told them the way to defeat me. But ego wouldn't allow them to shut up. So it was brilliant. So I kept stringing them along, growing the channel. And then they finally learnt, I think. Somebody asked me a question there, and they realized that I really didn't give a shit. And that it didn't matter how many people they brought in. I was only going to celebrate that more and more as a victory. And since then, they've gone quiet. And they're silently marking down the videos, but they won't say a word. And what was interesting about it in the first place is they didn't come out as proud socialists. They came out as pretending not to be, which is very strange for people who are so proud of it. And only when called on their bullshit. Hey, so come on. Only when called on their bullshit did they say, yeah, I'm a socialist. Of course I am. I've studied home economics. That's not a joke. And so they were all very triggered, and then they would all come out and defend Owen Jones, pretend it was the quality of my video. The video was bad, but it was clearly written. This is a first attempt sort of thing. So they tried to blame it on quality of the video, but it always came out. If I kept them talking longer enough, they're either defending Owen Jones or defending socialism and communism. And see, if I call them communists, they like to go, we're not communists. We're not, and they're right. They're right, because communism is the end goal. Hey, Steve, good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Hope you're okay, my man, and ready for Christmas. Yeah, so communism is the end goal. So what they do is, well, let me explain where I was getting to. So I made a video recently, quite deliberately, about Owen Jones, and what I thought was, I'm actually going to take their criticisms on board. Not the fact that I've taken the piss out of Owen Jones, but their criticisms were technical. And I knew they were hiding behind them. Nevertheless, take those pillars away, which is what I've done by the one that I put up there. They were saying he wasn't expressing emotions. They were saying all this stuff. The lip sync didn't work. Well, I fixed all that. Fixed it all. I even made some real life-like animations of Owen Jones, which are larger than life. So now they're writing it down silently, because they can't just say it's a shit video anymore. They're stuck. So yesterday, I was genuinely curious. So bear in mind, 500 of them tried to troll me. I thought, if you're going to troll me, that's fine, because this is how they do. They gang up on things. I will troll you back, me versus 500 of you, and I will win based on the fact that I refuse to lose and based on the fact that you're wrong. And being right is a more powerful tool than having numbers. And it proved to be that I had the last word. I silenced every single one of them. Not the same as being right, but I silenced every single one of them. So I brought out, like I say, I brought out other videos, and they just silently mark them down, but they won't say a word. Again, still not realizing that downvotes are good for your channel. Downvotes are good for your channel. Do not, if you had 99% downvotes which I've never seen a channel have. But if you did, it wouldn't damage your channel in the slightest. It would be, consider upvotes and downvotes to mean exactly the same thing. One word, interaction. That's what YouTube wants. So they're not hurting me. So I decided to put out a genuine video on that channel last night. And admittedly, I was a little bit catty at the beginning of that video, but I was trying to admit something to them. Yes, I've been trolling you. Yes, I've been doing this to you. But I said I want to call it not a truce, but a timeout, because I want to know if Starmer's considered a socialist, why are you guys seemingly abandoning Starmer for people like Owen Jones? And I said, us people on the right can theorize about it. We can pick our reasons. I said, but the left, I said, so is it about Palestine? Is that why you are not agreeing with the Prime Minister? I said, well, do you agree with the Prime Minister? And actually, this is a fake narrative. I said, or is it Owen Jones' stance on Palestine? Is there some other reason? Or do you not consider Keir Starmer to be a real socialist? And I said, I'm not going to troll you. I'm not going to rip your comments to pieces. This is a genuine ask to the people on the other side of the aisle. And I said, look, I am your political adversary. But for today, put that aside for the pursuit of knowledge. Anyway, only about 10 people have seen it so far, which is disappointing, but it's because I didn't put anything provocative in the title. Should have done, really. But there's a guy called Amsterdamaged came on. One person so far that wasn't mute. And I'm sure I remember that name. I'm sure I remember that name as being a right-wing name at some point. I know that name from our movement. And I'm sure it's either someone who was pretending to be right-wing, or, I mean, don't get me wrong, the name could be a coincidence, but I don't think it is. This is the same person I banned from another channel. But I don't know if they are genuinely a lefty or if they were playing, I don't know. But I recognise the name straight away. And in spite of my calling for a truce, in spite of me asking for this knowledge, this person comes on and says, I don't consider you to be my political... This is the left for you. They speak like this until challenged. He said, I don't consider you to be my political adversary. And I can't remember what else he said. It was something to demean me. Which is fine. I said, you can say what you want to offend me in the comments, as long as you answer the question, which he didn't. And he said, oh, please do tell us about Keir Starmer and socialism. That would be very interesting. You know, given the idea that I don't know anything. And do you know what? Even if I didn't know anything, I could still probably beat these people in a debate, simple, on the basis of right and wrong. On the basis of right and wrong. So, like I say, 500 of them couldn't beat me. I'm not saying I'm the best debater in the world, by the way. I'm saying that if I'm in the right, you're going to find it. I mean, I can argue my way out. I can argue my way even if I'm in the wrong sometimes, which is not cool. But if I'm in the right, then God help you, because I'm going to fight for that. But he said, I'm prepared to debate you, which is fine. But it really kind of sort of spoke down as though I was a nothing. And that doesn't offend me at all. That's the left. That's the way they start out conversations. And you think, in spite of his prickly exterior, he sounds like half intelligent. Now, I know now not to listen to that anymore, because I've met a lot of people that sound like him. And then a few of them have actually come on and had some really good debates, about 2 or 3 in 7.5 years. They've come on and had really, really good debates. The rest don't turn up, scream, shout. Yeah, it's not the same. But I have met a few people that have said, look, we're all human beings. Let's have a conversation. He's not one of them. He thinks he is. He's not one of them. So I didn't troll him in the comments. what I said to him was, and the invite's there for all of them. I've given him a link. I said to him, there's plenty of days when I go live, and you're welcome on. Now, if you see Amsterdamish come in the chat at any time, especially if I'm in studio, would you please let me know? Keep that name in mind, Amsterdamish, because if I see him, I will offer him right there and then to come on. When I'm in studio, to come on. And if I'm not in studio, then I'll ask him for a date. So, one second. I'll ask him for a date. Not to go out on a date, I mean ask him for a date to come on. Or whatever. I'm not too worried about making it formal. The point of it is I want to offer him that chance to debate me that he seems to think is such a clear one-sided thing. People have misunderstood me in the past because I have stopped debating people, because quite frankly I found them boring trying to debate the left, because they say the same things over and over again. Racist, bigot, racist, bigot, racist, bigot. So you can't really debate many of them, except for some of the youngsters who are got more skills because they're more open-minded. So I've invited him on and said to him, this is where you'll find me, ZeroZero News. And before, you see, what made them go quiet before is because they were all going, oh yeah, you're really killing us with your channel with 300 subscribers on. I went, this channel's the one that's, because I said people were laughing at them. And they said, oh, who's laughing at us on your 300 subscriber channel? I went, no, the other channel. And that had 20k on. And everyone went silent. And I offered them all to come and debate me then. So if you see Amsterdamish come in, what I want to do is, if that person does come and jump in the chat, if anybody else is on, jump out that chat, because I don't want that person to feel like we're ganging up on them. I don't want that person to feel like there's a disadvantage. And when I hold my own, I don't want that person to have any excuses. I don't have the person to have any excuses. And given their credit, they were man enough to speak into the comments where they know they are the enemy, but they still failed to answer the goddamn question. And that's what I said in the comments. You failed to answer the question. You've made judgments on me. He's, intimated what he thinks of my intelligence, but completely avoided the question. He's saying, oh, please do tell us about what you think about Starmer socialism. That wasn't what I said. I said, you tell me about it. So already, I know that debating this guy would be quite fun, because he's already avoiding the question on the very single first question I ask. So can you see why I have quite a lot of confidence about debating this guy? Because he's already lying and he's already admitting in his first answer. So bring it on, because if you lie, if you omit, guarantee I'll be there to pick you up on it. So by all means, rather than him having a disadvantage of using a keyboard, rather than him having a disadvantage of being 2-on-1, Amsterdamish, you've been given the address. You know where I am now. Put your money where your mouth is, as I said to you in my comments. I didn't say it rudely. Didn't call you any names. I didn't treat you how you treated me. I wasn't rude to you. I just said, come and put your money where your mouth is. This is where I'm live. This is where I go live. I'm on my small channel now. My big channel I closed down. So you've got no fear there. Come and get your opinions out. I won't shout over you. As long as you behave yourself and give me the same respect. Yeah, by all means, come and dismantle me. Come and destroy me. Come and embarrass me in front of your socialist friends. I am totally okay with that. And do you know what? If I lost the debate, good practice. So I don't give a shit. Quite literally got nothing to lose. How about you, mate? Whose channel I've checked out, who has no videos, who has no website, who has no social media presence, who has done nothing for their own cause. I've checked you out considerably, mate. You've done nothing anywhere for anybody. So just bear that in mind as well. You're another left or right, the keyboard warriors always know what's best. So The invite is there. Put up or shut the fuck up. That is the honest offer. Don't whinge and cry in the comments if you are not prepared to come on and back your words up here. And again, I'm not trying to force you into this. You said, I'll come and debate you. I'm not bothered by you. Well, I didn't ask for a debate, but fine. That's fine. Let's do it. Let's do it. I have a 20% chance feeling you turn up, and a 5% chance you'll be able to have a conversation without losing your rag or making a fool of yourself. But prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Let's have an hours-long conversation where even if we agree to disagree, we learn something and we go our separate ways. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that you can still have an adult conversation. Prove me wrong. I would want to be proved wrong. I want to believe there is still some good on some parts of the left. Still. But when you come roaring out in defense of socialism, I don't hold out much hope. Home economics would be a good thing for them. Might teach them the value of money and food. So do you know what? Yeah, that's a good point. And what this person said, and this, do you know what? It's becoming, as Steve, this is becoming now as regular as calling people paedophiles, calling the people on the right grifters. The thing to call people now is benefit scroungers. Yeah. So he said, it says something like you're obviously on benefits. So say thank you to socialism or something, right? And that tells me a couple of things. That this guy, well, one, they all say you're on benefits, not knowing what you do for a living. I've worked on this podcast. I mean, as in, I've been at jobs people never knew. I've been out of jobs people never knew. They've not known when I'm working and when I'm not. I don't share it because the fact of it is, it gets harder and harder to get employed when people are calling you racist and a bigot. So therefore, I don't talk about my work situation on here because people will go out of their way to put my face on the company's desk to make sure I don't get employed or to make sure I lose my job. So I will always keep that ambiguous for that reason. Same reason why you don't dox your own family. Same reason why you don't talk about your worker situation, because people will do stuff like push you to say you're on benefits, and then you go, actually I work for the British Post Office. Bang, they've got you. But here's the crazy thing about it. All socialist countries and all socialists defend the evils of communism by saying Cuba, great healthcare. Many other countries that are on the danger list, on the watch list. Great healthcare though. This is what everybody from Corbyn to people from years ago and people right up to now still use things like healthcare. And this is what I said to you. Starmer's broke from the norm. And this is why I was trying to ask the left if they consider him a socialist. Because technically, although he's just released billions now for the benefit system, but for a particular group of people, he's cut winter payments and all this other stuff. Not really the way a socialist government is supposed to work. So, and here's the most. So these people always justify socialism's evils, people dying and starving, by the fact that it's got a good health service, or that the trains are private, or that trains are even free or something. You get free train fare, yeah, but you get murdered for speaking out. Yeah, but you get good health care. That's how they look at it. So already I know who I'm dealing with, what I'm dealing with. You know, it's the same bucket of shite that you always do. And that's the thing, I was hoping one might find someone a bit, because socialism and communism, that they work in spectrums, a bit like religion. And the reason they work in spectrums is so you can't pin them down. If you say, you're a Marxist, you believe this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this is what makes you wrong, if there's logic to your argument, what they'll say is, no, I'm not a Marxist. I'm a neo feminist Marxist, which is a bit like saying, I don't know, I'm an offshoot from Catholicism. It's a way of not being pinned down in a box. These people that like to work in identity groups, when you actually challenge them with it, they start not wanting to be put in those groups, because if they are put in those groups, it means they lose. So it's an interesting thing the way it works. So hang on a second, got a road to worry about. One sec. Come on. With me? Stop. Go. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, when they start talking about healthcare, you know. But the other thing is as well, the second part of this is the idea that people on the right, what is it, Sue? That people on the right, people like me are all grifters and living off the state and everything else. People with illnesses can't help what they do, but I've also paid into the state. Yeah? But these are socialist policies. Some people won't agree with me on this. They are socialist policies. There's a difference between a socialist policy and a socialist fucking government. There is. And I don't even know if, Steve might know, I don't even know if this stuff was brought in by the left or the right. I actually don't know. Steve, do you know who brought this all in? Hey, Captain, sorry, I will catch up the chat in a second. So let me get my brain back. A lot going on around me, bear with me. Yeah, so they use the socialism, so they use the socialism to justify the horrors that are. But the other thing as well, like I say, they'll then pick a specific branch. They'll then pick a specific branch of socialism, because that's what they do, is they form identity groups, and then when you try and pin them down on that identity group, then they don't want to be pinned down, and they don't want to be in an identity group, because they know you can undercut all of their ideology at once. So they do what a lot of theists do when they're debating, and that's they go, yeah, but my God is, and it's like, oh, hang on, you don't get to change the rules. And that's what you'll get. You'll get my socialism, my idea of socialism. But it's not about your idea of socialism. It's about socialism, not your idea of it. And that's where it all comes falling apart. So I invite their attempts to come on debate. But considering the fact that they won't show their face, it takes them days to even admit that they're socialists. And the fact that the only reason they're speaking to me like it in the first place is because they see a small channel and they believe that it's vulnerable, not realizing that their patronage is actually helpful to me. But there is an underlying good intention behind all this. And it's to try and have a good conversation with somebody on the left. That's why I made that video last night. Yeah, I'm poking them a bit, but I'm also trying to understand the left's point of view. Why is some of the left turned on Keir Starmer? What do they see about him that they don't like? Why are they championing Owen Jones now? I want to hear it from them. These were genuine questions. They weren't troll questions. They were genuine questions. And I don't see why someone on the left couldn't answer them. Like, you don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with my politics. You can hate me. But why not offer those answers anyway? Because the more we understand about each other, the more we might find something in common. So there was good intentions beneath it all. But unfortunately, those good intentions can get buried because these people turn nasty very quickly. So, like, as I said, his very first post was all about condescending to me and speaking down to me. Again, I don't mind. That was the deal I made. You can say what you want about me as long as you answer the question. They just didn't answer the question. So they're threatening to debate me. Please do. Please do. Please come and debate. Because it's not about socialism versus capitalism. It's about right and wrong. When it makes it in terms of that, it makes it a lot easier. So I don't know if you saw today. Let me just capture some comments because I want to move on to something. Stefan, good to see ya. Tim, yeah. How come my name's changed to Tim? Hey, Captain, good to see you, mate. Yeah, but the difference is, Steve, right? The difference is about you say people laugh at your account. You're not making claims as though you were running a 100,000 YouTube channel that gets to say the things that these people say. They talk as though they're authorities and they've done nothing. You've led a, listen, you know the score. You've led a life, Steve. You've actually lived and done things. These people haven't. The most they've done is read a book, and these days even that is shallow. Even that is not really the case anymore. So I would rather take your word over theirs any time, because you're educated. And I mean, I just down here in a place called Fawley Refinery, we had Extinction Rebellion stop down there, and there was about 12 of them. And they, there was a marine biologist there. And so we started talking about climate change. And I said, so here's a question for you. You think that the Earth is 4.4 billion years old, and they were telling me how we got through carbon dating and stuff like that. They had the weather patterns for 4.4 billion years. I said, really? Marine biologist? 4.4 billion years of weather. Right. Well, every major scientist knows, every single major scientist knows, we do not have 4.4 billion years worth of weather, carbon dated or not, because there is a massive mystery. 1 billion years, nearly a quarter of our existence. 1 billion years. There is a shelf missing from the Earth that should be of that billion years. We know what a billion years looks like. We know how it should be. And we know it comes out in carbon dating. There is a whole shelf missing. Nobody even has a theory. So, let's wait. Nobody even has a theory as to how this is possible at the moment. Nobody knows. Nobody knows how this is possible. All they know is that there's a billion years of history missing. Something happened to the Earth, or something didn't happen to the Earth, which caused it not to create a layer, a massive layer during this billion years. So even if the carbon dating could tell you that much about the weather, there's literally almost a quarter of our history missing. When I mentioned this to this fully trained marine biologist, all the people standing behind her, started gesturing to her behind my back, and I turned my camera around and I could see them behind my back doing all this gesturing. And what they were gesturing with her to was to come away from me. Why? Why come away from me at that exact point? Because Miss Marine Biologist didn't know what the she was talking about. And don't get me wrong, she will know loads and loads and loads of things I don't about marine biology. So, here, about marine biology. But for someone who calls himself a scientist to not know that a billion years of the Earth's history is missing, astounding. Astounding. And this is the type of people that are threatening to debate me as though I should be quaking. And yet you can just rinse them with simple facts. I could beat a scientist with a simple fact because she's omitting that fact. It's not my cleverness. It's their stupidity in trying to hide things. Or maybe it's that they think we're so stupid. And I think this is probably closer to the truth because of the way they speak down to us. I think they think we're so stupid that we won't notice if they tell these lies. Because she's a marine biologist, perhaps she thought, oh, I'll just say this. It's a roundabout truth. I'll get away with it. Maybe that's it, because of the way that a lot of them do talk down to us until they get their ass handed to them. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. I see trending on X today. Blasphemy. I'm like, oh, you're kidding me. Again. For me. So I had a look. And Tommy Robinson was in Dubai for that awful, yet intriguing Misfits event. Where Andrew Tate embarrassed himself. And Tommy was being interviewed on some kind of, I don't know, red carpet or something like that. And so I've got to watch my 6. This Muslim guy who was also happened to be a fighter started trying to tell them not to interview Tommy, standing in front of him. And then he pushed Tommy and he's just like speaking over him. They never understand this is not a good look. It doesn't make them look like they're dominating him. It just makes them look, oh, thanks, Sue. Hey, come here. Come here. Sue! Sue! This way! Come here. Don't take the fucking piss out of me. Come here. Come here. Don't you take the piss out of me. Come here. You go with me, not the fucking way you choose. With daddy, with dad, with dad. Sue, with dad. You know better. You know better. You know far better than that. Come on, this way. That's better. That's better. All right, good. Too much danger. Too much danger. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so this guy pushed him, and these people don't realise it's not a good look. But he's in Dubai, right? He's gone to an Islamic country. I'm quite surprised, to be honest. And this is what was interesting, was there were claims being made online on X that he'd been detained for breaking blasphemy laws, because some people are saying it's to do with that red carpet interview because he said something against Islam. But I don't know if it's that or something else. I haven't seen any other videos. Not that I go searching for them, but I haven't seen any others. So there's this claim that he's being detained, but it's not verifiable. I can't get... they're putting up paperwork to say he's been detained, but I cannot get it verified. In fact, the story seems to be that the left, from my understanding, are trying to report Tommy and trying to get that government to do something. They're trying to point out stuff he said in this interview. I think the left are trying to get him in trouble with the government while he's over there. Strike while the iron's hot, right? But Tommy did say something, and I'm not saying it's not true, but it's not provable at the moment. So I do hope he's telling the truth and he comes and backs it up somehow, because it would be actually interesting to see how this develops. But he said that they said to him, "Oh, you hate Muslims," or the rest of it. He said, "No, I'm here in Dubai, and I'm working with Muslims over here to counter the terror culture, to fight terrorists, to help them, and they're helping me fight terrorists." Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. Go on, Sue. I'm paraphrasing. There's no currently, this doesn't mean it didn't happen. This doesn't mean he's not telling the truth. There's currently zero evidence to support that. And then I don't mean I've looked online and seen if I can see a few videos. I mean, there is no word from a soul, not a soul, both online, by Tommy, by governments, by activists, by anybody, that suggests that he was there to talk to anybody about counter-terrorism. But at the same time, I'm amazed he went to a country like that if he wasn't. So I don't know. I'm not calling him a liar. But at the same time, until he can kind of qualify that, he's standing on thin ice, because it looks as though that may have been a line that he added. I don't know. I could be wrong. But and it's also hard to imagine people in Dubai meeting up with Tommy to talk about terrorist Muslims. You know, as much as people want to believe that Dubai is moving forward in the world, I'm not so convinced. Do I believe that someone may have spoken to him while he's over there? Yeah, because you've got someone of that influence against Muslims in your country. Why not try and talk to him if you really believe that you're changed? So I could believe that someone spoke to him. I just don't, yeah. I'm not totally buying the fact that he was there for that reason. And I think he was there to support his mate, Andrew Tate. That's what I think. So, but yeah, these people don't do themselves any favors when they come and start trying to push him around or whatever. When you're a fighter and you're twice as big as Tommy and then you're pushing him around or trying to, it doesn't look good. You know what I mean? And it also just says, see what we were saying is like, you guys are looking to take over anyway. Anytime you get criticized, you start getting violent, and it's proven again and again and again and again. That's why I said to you, the moderate Muslim is the one that people have become. The reason why people get snarky when you say moderate Muslim is because that guy would have been considered a moderate Muslim, not a terrorist, not someone pulling out a knife, but someone who is actively agreeing with the same things, and someone who is prepared to inflict violence on someone for words. So blasphemy is now, because what they're trying to say is they think Tommy broke blasphemy laws. That's what he's being reported for. So the reports that have come back since then say, one of them says that Tommy's been detained. The other one says that he's already left Dubai. I have no idea. I don't think he's being detained. I think it was a story concocted by the left. I think it was a story that they tried to make true and it didn't work, but I don't know for certain. I honestly don't know for certain. All right, let me see if I can catch up with you guys. I'm trying something a bit different today. I can't do it too long because I'm a bit worried. I've got the mic in, and it's got a throughput on for what do you call it? Power bank, a small power bank, but it's worrying. It's a bit heavy for the socket. But I made a mistake. I just tell you guys now. Just before I come to the comments, I made a mistake. I put a bid on a graphics card the other night, right? Bear in mind, it's not the graphics card I want. But understand, in my PC, I don't have a graphics card. It's onboard graphics at the moment because I sold my last graphics card, right? So bear that in mind. That PC is not good for gaming. It's not good for video editing at the moment, nothing. And I looked last night and I found out that gaming-wise, my desktop PC will probably come out on top because there's a better graphics card. But video editing-wise, my laptop is way ahead. So I meant to get the hard drives for the laptop, the memory for the laptop, and I've just found out that my laptop actually takes 64 gig of memory. Acer only say 32 gig because at the time of testing, that's what it is. But often BIOS updates allow 64 gigs. So I've just gone and bought memory that could have been 64 gig of memory. A lot of you might go, well, you don't need more than 32. If you're video editing, yes, you do. Because as much RAM as a video editor can use, it will use. And that RAM is vital, especially when you got SSDs that are moving so fast that the machine actually struggles to keep up. That RAM is vital for video editing. Flipping around between things. So I saw a 3070, a card that I had a few years ago. It's a good little card, but it's getting on. It's like 5 years old now. And it was going for about 160 quid. And I thought, that's cheap. There was like a 1080 going for 150 quid next to it. I thought, oh, I'll bid on it. I'll lose it. You know, when you do those bids and I'll lose it, but it don't matter. I bid on it and I fucking won the thing. I was like, shit. There's so many other things I wanted to get in a different order. I didn't want to win that one for cameras. There's this, there's that. And then I was like, right, you've done it now. Don't cancel the order. You've done it now. You needed a graphics card. At the moment, I can't afford a 5 Series. I would like a 5 Series. And with this graphics card and something else that I've got, in the future, I can sell it and I will get that 5 Series. And that 5 Series will allow me to do something I was looking at last night, which is create my own AI that will run and personalize to me in the way that Grok, Gemini, and all the others will never be allowed to, ever, ever. The law will always stop them, and there is no sign that AI will ever get any better because the law prevents it from having a memory. Therefore, the only way to have a fully custom built AI is on your own machine at home. I have got help from, I don't want to drop the AI in it, but an AI that's helped me work out how to get versions of itself illegally to run on the specific hardware that I'm going to have. So that's very interesting because it should have a lot of the same abilities, a little bit slower. It can do deep fakes. It can do all of these kinds of things. And I can even update it as engines get better without losing the memory. So this thing can have a 10-year memory of getting to know me. That's never going to happen with Grok, ever. That's never going to happen with Gemini, ever. So the 370 will do that for now. And it will also allow me to work on one video on one laptop, one video on another. But the reason I made a mistake was that wasn't the first thing I meant to get, and I really did want to get at least a 4 series, 5 series, you know. But I thought it would do for now. And then I got the 32 gig DDR5 memory upgrade, which means instead of it's a perfect amount of memory for an Acer Nitro, because 16 gig, it keeps filling up the memory, and then you'll hear the computer speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down. You put a bit of extra memory in, that just stops. It just holds so much more RAM, it just stops, and the whole thing just runs quiet and smooth. So I've got the 32 gig memory, but imagine this: I get the 32 gig memory, and on the same, about 10 minutes after I paid for it, I find out I can have 64 gig in there. If it was a gaming machine, it wouldn't matter, but because it's a video editor, that was a bit of a kick in the balls. But nevertheless, 32 gigs still a good memory to have on there. I also ordered a 4 terabyte Samsung 990 Pro Plus? I think that was it. A 4 terabyte SSD running at about 7 megabits per second. So, no, not megabits, gigabits per second, sorry. I'm losing my head here. So that is a plus. Plus I'll have about 5 terabytes in that one overall. Perhaps maybe I'll upgrade that one in the future. I don't know, but I think leaving that where it is at the moment should be plenty for video editing and part-time gaming. So I've got the hard drives. I've got the memory, graphics card for the other computer. That's the one bit where I messed up because there's things I could even have got an external graphics card for the laptop. It will run them on my laptop. I just don't know how good they are, external graphics cards. Never tried one. And I just don't understand how they can be as fast as a graphics card because they can't transmit data as quickly, I don't think. Unless it's through the Thunderbolt port, of course. Oh yeah, it could be. It's 40 gigs a second, I think. It could be, I don't know. Anyway, so, what else did I get? I tried not to get too much, right? I tried to, no, I think that was it. I think it was those 3 things. So I've got my mics now. That's it. So I stopped the software at that point, and I realized I'm going to stop, pay some things off. Then I'm going to buy yearly software of the things that I really need. And that then stops me paying out money every month. And then there's a couple more bits and I'm done for now. I need a new, yes, there's other bits I might want for that. One more bit I might want for the laptop in the future, another 4 terabyte hard drive. That's maximum I want, but that is luxury. I don't need that. So with that said, I think if I do, the reason I did all this now was because I realized if I do all this now, I will have it paid for by mid-January, which means that if I barely need any more equipment, there's a few bits I need, but nothing expensive after this. If I barely need any new equipment other than a big graphics card for the machine, then I've got the money, hopefully, to travel from that point. So, admittedly, that doesn't include Starlink, but Starlink is a work in progress, and that's something I'm not convinced I want yet, because there are some downsides to it as well, in terms of using it mobile. One of the biggest downsides is people are going to see it, and the left are likely to go to damage it if they know what it is. So you've got to weigh that up. So it's something I'm weighing up at the moment. But I realised that I was really worried what I did last night. I was annoyed that I bought that graphics card first when it was the thing I needed the least. But actually, it's put me in a good position because I'm going to have 2 machines rendering. I'm going to have one project on each machine rather than keep mixing in between because it's getting confusing. And all I need now is another, I think it's a big 8 terabyte drive, because I've got a few of them, to just complete my backup. So I could always have three drives for backup, and I'm done. I'm done. So from that point, it is merely tweaking. From that point, it's merely tweaking and getting things as I need them. I've only got things I know I will need. So I'm quite upbeat about the future because I haven't needed to ask for a penny. I haven't needed to be monetized. I've just needed to bite the bullet and go for it. And what I've done is I've been a bit sly in a way because I've also made it so that I can use it as a gaming machine as well. So that, for instance, if things don't pan out, I haven't lost anything. I've still got an awesome gaming machine, you know? So, yeah, sorry for waffling on about this stuff, but it's good because it means that constant whinging about money is going to go away because at the moment I'm handling things pretty well. And so I'm not going to commit to going to loads of places until I finish this stage of it. Because once I finish this stage of it, then it's upkeep and travelling. So I'm getting there. I think that by March, I could very well be in the position of having the money I need to travel and having the equipment I need to make videos successfully. So let's see what happens. Anyway, let me catch up on your comments. Let's see if I can brighten the screen up a little bit. So that was a bit of a waffle, wasn't it? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's not sending me all your comments. I can tell that straight away. Benefits of starting the UK by Winston Churchill. Okay, that's what I had a feeling, but I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong. I don't ever say anything unless I'm 100% sure. Benefits of starting the UK by Winston Churchill on the 1906. In 1906, following the lead of Otto von Bismarck. Oh yeah, I know that name. From so hardly socialist, right? That's what I figured, but just didn't want to make a fool of myself. Didn't they say that Mussolini made the trains run on time? Absolutely, exactly. Mussolini made the trains run on time. Exactly. That's what they all use, and they really use it like they mean it. Cuba, all these other places, they say shit like that. Exactly. Good job, mate. Oh, sorry, I'm just reading through. Oh, what happened there? Tried to change the focus on the camera for some reason. Bear with me. Feel the need to vent my spleen. The current welfare state was brought on 5th 7th 1948 by the post-war Labour government, primarily because 40% of people called up in World War II were in poor health. So medically and particularly dentistry were poor health. And it's, on top of that, I know it was an employees market, but there was so much rebuilding of infrastructure and poverty. I mean, rations went on well past World War, didn't they? Simple answer to any climate apologist is ask how much CO2 is in the atmosphere, but climate dating only goes back to the time of Pangaea when coal layers were laid down. Exactly. For your information, CO2 is 0.031. Yeah, okay, yeah. And also we know in the past that there's been a massive CO2 eruption in the seas, which killed a load of life and then caused the biggest explosion of life that we've ever seen. And there's also other evidence to suggest that a CO2 injection wouldn't be a bad thing. Although I will show you something in a minute, not to do with climate change, or at least not their idea of climate change. Climate's always changing. Climate is very rarely ever still. It's always changing. And what I don't mean day to day, I mean year to year, millennia to millennia. So 2,000 years ago, Scotland was a bit warmer than it is now. Warmer than it is now. So people used to be able to live in relative huts and stuff like that without getting too cold in Scotland only 2,000 years ago. The climate is always changing. And this is what these people don't seem to get through their fucking heads. But a lot bigger than what you can. Am I explaining that all right? I can't explain the details. It will hurt people. And I don't mean hurt their feelings, I mean hurt them. But does that make sense? If you flaunt the fact that you're not under that jurisdiction, then you will become subject to it. So all I'll say is, yeah, I get what you're saying, but there is a much bigger iceberg. By the way, that doesn't mean I think that he's doing everything right. That doesn't mean I think he's perfect or anything else. But yeah, just to that one point, there's more going on. Yeah. It was ironic a British Muslim telling another Brit to get out of someone else's country. I know, man. Yeah, exactly. I forgot to tell you that. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I lost it. Tommy should be studying English law. It supersedes everything else. It is the highest in the land and no longer ignorant to the law. We do need to be not ignorant to the law, but the thing of it is, you've got to realise that Tommy can learn the law all he wants. Especially under Conservative government, the law was bent around him. So they used what was there to protect the people to weaponise against Tommy. And that weaponisation is also now being weaponised against the people. Those laws are meant to protect us. They don't. As evidenced by people like Tommy and other people that have been shut away. Even people who are legally very good have been shut away because they're changing laws and they are bending laws. And the point of it is, and this is something I keep coming up against, whether it's AI, whether it's other laws, Starmer keeps laws subjective. So the words harmful and offensive get used a lot because they're subjective. But they're trying to put things like that into law. And yeah, listen, if they want to screw with you, the law is irrelevant. It's the same as when the pirates back in the 2000s were running rings around the governments. What did the governments do? They just broke the laws to go after these people. That's what they'll do. They're governments. They don't care. Yeah, exactly, Steve, on that. Problem is, when authorities ignore the law, as VSB mentioned this morning, the third inspector in Sheepsbridge who ignored the that addresses faults in POA 1986 errors in okay, I agree. Rationing went on until the year I was born, 1954. Okay, I was only a year out. I thought 54. Okay. My parents went through the rationing, so they vaguely remember it. So I remember my dad, telling me they get this tiny amount of cheese, and he would talk me through it and that, and just say, this is what you had. And then my dad got caught stealing at a really, really young age. But it was because they couldn't afford to eat. And he said everybody was kind of like, not stealing, not like thieving, like just, it just sounded like a really, really difficult time. Kids were going to schools with holes in their shoes and putting cardboard in those shoes to cover the holes because they just didn't have the money to do anything about it. But yeah, you've answered the bell. I really want to know as well. So thanks to socialism for your benefits, that he has no idea whether I am on or not. He just says that because, again, that's what I was going to say to you. So you've got someone on the left, a socialist, saying, you're doing this, ergo you must be on benefits, right? Well, hang on a minute. I don't get paid for doing this. I don't get paid by Starmer or Stand Up to Racism or any of those other fake charities for coming out, being rent-a-crowd and standing up for things I don't believe in. So therefore, I couldn't afford to live like they live. I couldn't afford to not care about working, not care about money, because I don't get free money from the government for hating people on the right. Right, these people are all paid, as evidenced, A, by asking them, and some of them will tell you, B, by watching what they use the charity money for, And see, when you go out to these events, you will see that everything is provided for them. When they did the anti-Donald Trump marches, they had, they turned up in a train, and when they got off the train in London, there were placards and everything they would need, protesters' hand kit, if you like. And it was all arranged for them neatly by the train station. All that to do is pick up a placard. If you've ever wondered why the left always seem to have different placards and they don't seem to really believe what they're holding, it's because they just pick up random placards. They're already provided, paid for by the Socialist Workers' Party and people like it. When I infiltrated the Marxist Festival, I said to them, trying to get out of there, I said to them, I need to go and I need to go get back to work. And they were like, man, don't bother. That's what this is all about, isn't it? Because a lot of the Marxists have teamed up with the anarchists, and all of them believe in if you don't work, that's anarchy. It is proper Rick Mao stuff, yeah? Anarchy. Don't go to work, because that's anarchy, man. Yeah, don't go to work, because that's what this is all about. That's their words, not mine. That's what this is all about. Speaking about a Marxist festival, speaking about the anarchists, the Marxists, the leftists, the trans people, everything come together. Their words were, this is what it's all about, not working. They're being paid anyway. Why do they need to work? They're being paid to give out fake political opinions. So yeah, it's easy for them to say, but it's their side that wants us all to be dependent on benefits. It's their side that doesn't want to go to work. It's their side that wants to hide behind systems like that to say, oh, look, they're really good. It's their side that wants to hide behind that. And as we've seen today, they can't even get it right. And they say, oh, thanks to socialism. And as Steve's quite rightly put in there, yeah, that's Winston Churchill. Congratulations on that, you know? They can't even get that right. And by the way, these are the people that claim they're going to come on and debate me. Do you see why I'm not bothered? Like, do you see why I'm not swatting up? Do you see why I'm not going and grabbing some books and going, oh, I better warm up? There's no need to warm up. They're idiots. They're idiots. And yeah, you know, it's been a few years now since there was one guy in the last 3 years who I've met on the left, who I was like, wow, you are a good human being no matter what we think, because we had totally different views, but his views were open to change, and his attitude was, look, at the end of the day, we're all human beings, we all deserve to live, we all have a right to our opinion, and I do not want anybody else to suffer me. I thought that was, unlike most of the people who had his politics, I felt that was a pretty cool thing to say, a pretty cool move. If I'm honest, I thought it was I thought it was a pretty cool move. Sorry, I've lost the top of my mic. So, yeah, I kind of respected him for that. I kind of respected him a lot for that. What have I done with it, guys? That's frustrating. I've only had this mic a little while. Don't get me wrong, it's stupid because it was stuck on like so badly that I didn't expect it to stay on very long. But even so, it's still annoying. I'll have a look for it in a minute when we're not live streaming. Oh, I've got it. Yeah. Fucking stupid thing. Sorry, so much for them not swearing, eh? I found out on YouTube, it's not my swearing that they don't like. I think you're not allowed to say fuck in the first 30 seconds. But other than that, I don't think they actually mind swearing on your videos. Not that I'm saying that's an excuse to keep swearing. I'm just saying I don't think they did it. So, sorry, I didn't have the noise correction turned on. So, where was I? I'm losing myself now. I wanted to catch up with your comments, didn't I? Right. Oh, fuck's sake. Yes, Rick Mao was, yes, exactly. So if you remember when Rick Mao was in The Young Ones, he used to play an anarchist and a Trotskyist. So he always used to say, what was the thing he did one day? Oh, I can't remember what he did. Hang on a minute. I think threw the rubbish. I think he threw a bit of rubbish, like a bit of paper on the floor rather than putting it in a bin. And he goes, "Now that's anarchy." Yeah, and he's kind of, he is a satire of the Trotskyists. So yeah, Rick Mail in The Young Ones is definitely just a total Trotsky piss episode where they're on University Challenge, and Ben Elton's in the back of the car, and he says, "Was it? Oh, my father's bought the Socialist Workers' Party for my birthday," and there's a joke in that, but at the same time, there's a realism in that too. There's an actual realism in that as well. They were quite astute at that, but then again, they're all middle class. All of them, everybody in The Young Ones, are all middle class, and this is what they've said themselves. They said we wanted to try and be part of the working class because we knew we were middle class wankers. Their words, not mine. Me just there they are. So yeah, it is that Rick Mail, but I miss him. I miss him. Steve, why are your comments coming through twice? Is that you, or is that something happening on the chat here? Just wondering if the chat's functioning okay. Oh, because I'm not getting all the chat. Actually, let me just bring this up on here. What time is it? But is Vin going live or anything today? I don't want to be on the same time and piss him off. Not that he would be pissed off. You know what I mean? I don't want to show disrespect. Actually, just while I'm on that channel, oh, for fuck's sake, unbelievable again. Right, I've got to go because someone outside is. No, actually, just hang on with me, guys. Do you remember me having to go out and have a word with someone the other day? Do you remember? Wish I could pause this, but I can't. Just bear with me. I didn't know you're coming now or not. Oh. Right, give me 1 sec, guys. Sorry. There's no point stopping and starting again. So let's go and do this very quickly. Just stare at the ceiling for a second. I'll be right back. Actually, I'll take the mic with me. See what the length is. I'm going to count to 10. Tell me when I come back. Tell me when it stops counting. 1, 2. Come on, give me. Right, let's try again. Ready? Up we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pavement. 7. Road. 8, 9, 10. Car. 10 car. There you go, baby. Yep. I'll see you soon. Bye. Right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. Okay. Hopefully we're back. So what number did we get to? Anybody? Hopefully we got all the way. That would be kind of cool. I haven't had a notification for. Why is that so bright? For VSB. Do you know what? This Galaxy 25 S25 FE. Got the FE because I thought it'd be the cheaper version, smaller version. It's a huge phone. It's huge. Yeah, it's absolutely huge. Thankfully, it's got a bigger battery. But with the tweaking I've been doing, this phone is running Prism and going to multiple destinations, and the phone is stone cold. This isn't the phone that was overheating, admittedly, but both phones now, if I'm going to keep trying on the other one as well, but both phones seem to be running stone cold doing this. So hopefully I fixed it. I say fixed it. I found the right settings for it. 9 partially breaking up. You heard I'm actually amazed. Even if it was bad signal, I'm amazed we got that far, because that was about somewhere I'm not very good at distances, somewhere between 20 and 30 meters. Not bad for a little 30-pound mic. So I'm quite pleased with that, guys. Thank you for doing that for me. I'm quite pleased with that, because I'm never really going to leave you by more than about 10 meters away from camera anyway. So knowing I've got an extra 20 there gives me a lot of playroom, and a lot of room if I'm maybe got a camera in a fixed position and I'm walking, especially if I've got a camera that follows me like that, which I'm hoping to have at some point. One thing at a time though, right? So that's really, that's good. So we can say up to if I was to play it safe, up to 7's good then, yeah? 8's all right, but if we say 7, that would get me, say, 15 meters with safety. So that's good. That's good. Fucking light. It is a really awkward place. I apologise. Mind you, fairness, was meant as a walk and talk, so this room is darkened up for different purposes. Sorry for going into all the technical stuff, by the way, but I just thought I'd explain for the people who care what I'm doing with my setup and that, because I am trying to make it so I can do stuff next year. Like I say, 3070 isn't exactly a stellar card, but it's not a bad one. And it's a stepping stone while I've got no money on the way to getting a far bigger card. But for the sake of video editing, it's worth understanding. A lot of the people like the Captain, for instance, he uses OBS, but he's also got a very powerful machine. He's also got a very good internet connection. I think my fastest internet upload connection I can get is about 23 megabits per second. So, and the other thing to understand is I use a lot more video editing than live streaming tools. So as a result, I need RAM as opposed to graphics card RAM, VRAM. With that said, though, the AI that I want to configure requires VRAM, which is why the 3070 will be the perfect card for it, because although it's not got loads of it, it's fast enough to be able to run it. And then hopefully when I go up to a bigger card, it should be able to run it on its back. So it's the pre-recording where I have to change slightly from say like the Captain, because although we both live stream, obviously I don't think he's using the phone as much. I know he has used Prism, but it's that part where we diverge, because I think he's a gamer, so he's obviously going to be looking for the performance for his gaming. Gamers are absolutely intricate about performance and settings. So am I, but not for the same reasons. Whereas when you're video editing, you need the maximum amount of physical RAM. That's why I said to you, getting 32 gig and then finding out I can get 64 is actually gutting, because DDR5 64 gig of RAM would really make video editing, especially on a chip that's got 16 cores going. It would really mince that video editing. But like I say, even with 32, it's still going to be really, really good. And there's a few bits I've got as a result of these upgrades, which means I can sell them off, pay some things off. It's all circular. So without having to pull a single money from outside, pay for these things, and some of the things that they will replace will then bring some money back. So it's good. But I am stuck with the OBS because I started playing with it the other night and I played with it again last night. I am actually enjoying it. I'm starting to remember. I mean, I'm not very good at it at the moment because some things have changed and it's a long time. I'm starting to remember what I liked about it. And I'm going to try it. But the thing of it is, the studio's not costing me a lot of money, to be frank. The studio's probably the cheapest thing. It's about $5 a month at the moment. And I'm just not convinced I've got the upload speed to do it. But I'm going to try, because if it did work, then And if I could do more with it than I can do with StreamYard, which I should be able to do because it is designed to be tailorable, then it still might be worth it. It still might be worth it. Because, Captain, tell me something. So, before I do throw myself too far into all this, as in, let me explain that, sorry. When you know yourself, when you first start on OBS, and it's been so many years since I've used it, I'm basically starting again, right? And so when I was looking at it the other night, I was finding out it's made some massive leaps, as in there's really easy to get plugins now that allow you to customize the chat, have multiple chats. What else was it allowed you to do? I was surprised that if you got certain very common plugins, I can't remember at the moment. Forgive me, I can't remember at the moment. But there was things on there that I thought, oh wow, this is amazing. Could it? Obviously, with my connection, the real question is, can it be as good as StreamYard server side in terms of the connection? Let's assume the connection was okay, even for the time being. It seems like there's a lot of plugins and abilities that it has now. So does that mean that I can make it as functional, if not more functional, which is more my point, more functional than StreamYard? Because StreamYard's got these abilities on it, but half of them aren't that good, and you're stuck in a web browser. And whilst OBS has always been configurable, obviously, and it's always had plugins, the things I was looking at the other night were much more straightforward. They were always the plugins that you always wanted, but they used to be a little bit more convoluted. Now they just look like install, set up, go, which I was quite surprised at. And it seemed like you could add any feature that you could imagine almost to OBS now, whereas that used to be a bit messing. Am I right on that? Because what I don't want to do is put a load of stuff into OBS. This is what put me off it before. I used it and I used it and I used it and I really enjoyed it. And I actually didn't get StreamYard to replace it. I got StreamYard to tide me over while I was still learning bits about it. And then because I do so much other work, I got dragged away from it, because don't forget, I'm trying to edit, direct, do live stream. You're trying to do it all. You're trying to fit it all in. So what the point I'm at the moment is I don't know whether to go all in and learn OBS, taking time away from other projects, just to find that it doesn't do all the things I need to do when I'm only paying a small amount for a studio, or is it that if I put this work in, I'm going to find that OBS is more tailorable than it's ever been, easier than it's ever been, and I'm going to get some great results doing what I do on there. Because if that's the case, then it's worth me continuing with the effort I've been making over the last few nights, if that makes any sense. I've streamed my screen to show you how to set up if you like. Yeah, it'd be cool. And I mean, I think, I'll tell you what, I was going to ask you, what I was going to say is, on a certain day, I'm not sure when exactly yet, because we're coming right on Christmas, but I was going to go live on OBS, because I know how to do that. And then maybe ask you live, like, if we could set a bit of it up. Do you know what I mean? But I also want to make sure as well that I'm reading things and make sure it's stuck in here. Do you know what I mean? So that when things go wrong, I can fix it. But I do, if it can do, but sorry, the question was, can it do all what StreamYard could do and more? Can I make it as tailorable as it looks like I can? Because it looks like I can do far more with it than I could do with StreamYard. And if the connection holds out, that would make it actually superior. Would you agree with that? Yes, right. Okay. So really, it comes down to my connection and whether my studio on the server is putting out a good signal itself. But really, probably comes down to my connection. Right. Because that's what I saw. Thank you for answering that, because that's what I saw the other night. When I was going through it, I was like, holy shit. You know, to be able to do two people speaking, you used to have something called the NDI plugin, you used to have Skype going through it, all this stuff. From what I saw the other night, you don't need to do that. There's a plugin for that, which I was like, a plugin that goes through a browser, I think. And then I was really surprised at the plugins that used to be not difficult to install, but awkward to install sometimes, and sometimes wouldn't work if you really hadn't got your machine configured perfectly. A lot of these things just seem to just work straight away. So I was really shocked at the difference. So yeah, and you're saying yes. So that makes me think I should keep plugging forward with it. But what I think perhaps one of the first things to do is do a live stream on it, just a basic live stream, just a test stream, just to see if it makes the same. If it makes the same errors. I'm trying to think the right word. Throttling as it does when we've tried it in the studio. If it doesn't, that could be interesting, couldn't it? That could be interesting. So at the moment, I'm streaming to you right now. Although I've throttled a bit right, I'm streaming to you right now from this hotspot, which I'm hoping might be the saving grace because that's got a much higher upload rate. All right, but well, don't go live straight after because I'm literally gonna have to shoot out after this. But oh shit! Or unless you're gonna save it, and I'll keep a copy of it. Okay, have I got you on my? I am subscribed to you, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Yes, I am. I am subscribed to you. Yes, I definitely would like to have a look because, yeah, I want to try it. I think I want to try it, and I want to see what I can achieve with it. I also wonder if you can make plugins for it yourself. I wonder how difficult that is. I mean, what are the plugins made with a particular program, or are they pure programming? I don't even know that because there's things I would like that I haven't seen that I would like to create. And I'm also wondering now I've found the ability to create my own AI. I'm wondering if I can merge them together somehow. That is a big project. I'm not saying that's going to happen anytime soon, but there's things it could do, like the batch files we were talking about the other day, Captain. There's things it could do that would be like having a virtual producer. And when I'm under manpowered like I am, that is actually interesting. I don't know. Let me think on that one. And see what I'll do, Captain. God, I'm sweating. Sorry, I feel great actually. I don't know why. When I say I don't feel good, I'm not ill. Just felt a bit hot. Sorry, just laughing at some of the comments. Always. Oh shit. Always use paces as meters. Yeah, I try and do a long stretch because I've got short legs. But yes, I know what you mean. I do try and do that. You're right. Right. You can still use StreamYard. You just don't go live on it. I'll test it after. So the thing is, though, so like I don't use StreamYard. So I should have said this. I should have said this clearly. I don't use StreamYard. I use Talk Studio by Streamlab. And what I can't work out, because what you can do is I pay for X, and if I'm understanding this right, I can forward a stream to X, which would then output to multiple streams, taking some of the strain off my machine, I think. And the same with the studio that I've got. But obviously, part of getting the studio, part of using OBS would be not to have the studio anymore. I noticed that OBS originally doesn't have multi-streaming as part of its original package, but that was what it was that I found. Within 10 minutes, I'd found a really popular plugin that allowed you to stream to as many places as you wanted. So it took 10 minutes. In the past, that used to take a lot longer. So that was what really caught my attention with it. But with the studio, I'm paying for it. It's not a lot of money. But if I went to StreamYard, it'd be a minimum of about £45 a month for their crap. And it is crap. So I don't want to pay StreamYard just to stream to them and forward. Do you know what I mean? It's just no point. With the one I'm getting at the moment, I'm getting it on like an essentials plan, $5 a month. That isn't too bad. But what I need to work out at the moment is those slowdowns that we've seen where my picture goes shit image. I need to figure out if that's because I'm using a cheaper version of StreamYard, or if it's a connection this end. If it's a connection this end, then hopefully this connection will fix it. If it's but if I'm right and X will stream out, will forward your stream to the other places, I'm already paying for X. So I could just cancel the studio, go straight from OBS to X, out to YouTube and everywhere else. And although it's not free because I'm paying for X anyway. So it kind of is free. I wouldn't need a studio like this one anymore. So I'm kind of thinking, do you see what I'm saying? So because it's kind of defeats the object to pay for a studio if I'm trying to use OBS. The whole reason I'd be trying to use it is to try and escape that. Two things: to try and escape that paying that money out, but also trying to escape the shit templates and the shit functionality that you get with StreamYards, which is, let's be honest, the reason StreamYard came out and was successful wasn't because it's so brilliant. It's because it was fucking idiot proof. It's because any lame asshole could use it, and any lame asshole has used it. Sorry, but technical people will understand what I'm saying. It meant that any damn fool could pick up a thing and have a studio. That's good and bad. So yeah, with StreamYard and things like that, it kind of did whittle that down a bit. But also as well, it meant that you could make a stream that looks unique rather than making one that looks like all the other StreamYard ones. And everybody knows you're using StreamYard, which kind of kills the magic. For your phone, I mean. I see what you're saying. Yeah, also notice there's a lot of virtual camera stuff as well available. A lot of virtual camera stuff available. So there was some really good stuff on there. I did notice though, however, something was making my camera erase the background even when I'd asked it to stop. I don't know what caused that. There's some kind of, I think, driver issue or something there. Something's doing something it shouldn't be. But I noticed how much the NVIDIA card was really, struggling with all the effects. And I'm like, it shouldn't be struggling this much. And maybe part of that's a lack of lighting. But I've realized as well, there is still no, people will argue this with me, but there's still no, especially if you're on a cheaper setup, there's still no substitute for a green screen. Because if you tell studios, OBS, anything that you're using the green screen, it can differentiate the green screen far better than it can take this background away. It can take the background away and make it look good, but if you're not using a super powerful graphics card and a decent enough setup, it's going to look shit. Even with video broadcast taking the background away, it's all right at best. It's all right. You use a green screen, you tell these things that you're using a green screen, the processing power goes down by about 10 times. They're nowhere near processing as much, which means you've got all the extra processing power for 3D effects, for other things that you might want to do with the programs. Whereas just using my virtual cameras is almost killing my graphics card. Alan Multistream, a plugin for OBS. I wonder if it was that one. There was something else as well called was it SE something or SLE, something like that. Tom, you're some lame asshole, but I'm not used to Sorry, Steve, I didn't mean it like that. What I meant is, sorry, I should have qualified my statement. You get a lot of people coming on pretending to be, I'll tell you what really frustrates me, right? Some people I won't name paid people to do a job, and these people were totally unprofessional, never touched a camera before. And there was me, fully qualified and very good at it. And I only found out a little while ago that they've been paying the unqualified person and leaving me without the money because I'm a mug. And I can be too nice in those situations. But what you had in our movement especially is a bunch of people calling themselves videographers. These people have never been in a TV studio. These people have never been in the position of being a director, a producer. They don't know what it even means. If you ask them to define those roles, they can't. They try, but they can't. They fail miserably because they don't even understand what those jobs are. But they blag it on here and they go, oh, I'm a videographer. No, you're not. You're an amateur guy who's just picked up. You started doing something else, and then the webcam was an afterthought because you realized you could do something with it. Yeah. Listen, I'm not shitting on people for wanting to do it. That's cool. I'm shitting on people for making out they're videographers. No, you're not. A videographer is trained like me. And it's irritating because years and years go into that training. And a lot of knowledge goes into that training. So when someone comes into the movement, gets StreamYard because they don't know what they're doing. Back in the day, StreamYard was new. No, I was letting people know about it. So people didn't know about it. They couldn't go on live because they couldn't work shit out for themselves because they weren't videographers or even very good technically. But they would do this and put this almost like their CVs. They would get hired as a result of their lies. Whilst people like me, like I say, would then do jobs for people, wouldn't get paid, and the unqualified videographer would get paid because they were good at bullshitting people. And you see them, the moment something technically goes wrong, they're fucked. They can't fix it. The one thing the movement used to appreciate about me was I could be in the middle of London, a laptop under one arm, a phone under the other, lose all signal, everything goes to rat shit. And as I'm walking, as I'm following a demo, I am fixing things as I'm going. Soldering cables as I was walking along, doing anything I needed to do to get things working again. And I did. Because I knew what I was doing. And it does frustrate me, these people call themselves videographers and all this other stuff, making out they know, making out that they've been in the media industry. No, they haven't. And getting 10,000 subscriptions on YouTube doesn't count, not even for me. Okay, if you've got 1 million people, but if that's why there's a direct correlation between not all, but many people on YouTube who don't have an idea of how to speak. Even my speaking has gone right down the toilet. They have no idea about presentation. They have no idea about timing. They have no idea about etiquette, as in don't walk off and have a piss in the middle of an interview. Seriously, don't walk off and make a coffee while the camera's still rolling. Like basic things, but they don't understand. It's a different world. And I'm not saying we should carry everything over from the legacy media, but there are certain things that they do for a reason. And it is about not taking the viewer out of the viewing experience. That's primarily it. But there are other things as well. And to make it not look like a cheap tin pot setup that you've got, which it does ultimately do the moment you walk off and have a piss and do all of these things. So, yeah, it does bug me, these people, because these people have lied, said that they are what they're not, and they've got thousands thrown at them for things that they can't do. And it's there people like me who, at one time, my skills were worth, well, minimum of £60 an hour, probably because of how much I was worth. They were paying people that couldn't do the job instead. And I wasn't expensive. I didn't actually charge £60 an hour. I would charge for a job. And a lot of time I would do those jobs free. So, yeah, but you can never, I don't know, you can never please people. But yeah, so when I see these people out there now, you know, what they're missing a trick. A lot of people on YouTube, not all people, and a lot of people have worked out their own system of delivery, and I like that. But there's a lot of people on YouTube that can't edit a video to save their lives. They can't, and they're too proud to ask anybody because it's their baby. They're too proud to go and say to someone, I can't video edit for shit. Video editing is not something you just learn overnight. It takes years. Can you just video edit this for me? They won't. They're too proud. So as a result, you've got people like Mayor Tusi, who is a massive YouTuber. His videos just go clonk, clonk. They're all over the fucking place. And a lot of the big YouTubers are the same because they will not let anybody else edit it for them, and they will never get to grips with it themselves. And why would they need to? They've got millions of subscribers, so therefore, why bother improving the product? For me, it'd be about how I feel about the product, regardless of how many people I've got watching. For me, it would be if I've got this many people watching, I want to put out a professional looking product because I would want it to last the test of time. If I had that many people watching, I would want to be releasing videos that someone could watch in 3 years' time and find value in it. Whereas now, where I'm at this stage, it's more about making throwaway videos, if that makes sense. I had 4 webcams on at one time. Now, see, that must. But see, the thing is, so I used to be able to. So I got 3 on mine actually, and it's only when I put the video broadcast on that it starts to struggle a little bit. Not struggle, get busy. When I used to use XSplit and other things, it didn't used to hammer it so much. So there's something about in video broadcast. I feel like it's using too much power. Do you know what I mean? Because when I'm using the other webcams, I'm not having the same problem. Do you reckon Working Class Patriots a plan? Oh, hang on, Tom. I saw this lame asshole stuff when I used to watch the US law streamers like. Is that okay? And Megan Fox writer, hence me using ass. Ah, gotcha. You mean like having coke on his nose after a piss break? Oh dear. Tusi, the Iran uni graduate who doesn't know when the first written was that Iranian constitution was enacted. Did you expect any better, Steve? You knew at the beginning that was going to be the case, though, didn't you? Right. So I really feel like I should be winding this up. Any questions? Anything anybody wants to ask me? Anything anybody wants to say while I just think of the next thing I'm going to say. So, I don't really want to say this online, but how do I say this? I just don't want to say this. I haven't. I'm sorry. I just realised I can't send private messages to certain people. So, Captain, do you mind if I come and watch you do the OBS thing on another day? Because I didn't want to say online. Even you have advised me not to do it, but I don't know how else to tell you without just telling the truth. My leg's killing me, and as I've been going through this, I've been trying to ignore it more and more, and I'm getting to the point now of going, I'm going to close this up and go and try and get this sorted out. So, but I would say I definitely will come. So if you do a video, I'll come and look at it afterwards. Or if you want me to come on live with you or whatever, let me know, and I will do. Do you, when you make videos, just one more question for you though, before I go, when you make videos, do you ever use OBS to actually record them? Because that's the only thing I'm not so sure about. Probably because I record, put things straight onto a video editor. I just wondered if you ever did that. It's different for you. You're gaming orientated, so we've got slightly different goals, but there's going to be some things we're going to do the same. You know. I don't watch Tuesday because when I corrected him, and he chided me over my poor spelling. Oh, do you know what? I really hate that. That is a pet hate of mine. Whenever you challenge someone with a really good point, if they want, and they go on about spelling, by the way, it's not spelling, it's typing. When you're on the internet, half the mistakes made are by typing. Yeah, my mistakes were made by typing. So people like to pretend you can't spell. But the fact of it is, I told someone before, I made a really good political point to someone one day. One that needed to be addressed because I'd got them by the bollocks. And they started going after my grammar and spelling. And it's like, that is a really weak shield to hide behind when you've just been asked a really strong, really major point about, you know, whether it's theology or whatever else. when you've been put on blast. Yeah, to do that, but unfortunately, people do. Vin, how you doing, Vin? I hope everything's okay. Vin, you're not going live. I'm not disrupting anything, am I, mate? I wanted to make sure nobody knew that you were going live, so I presumed that you wasn't yet. But Vin, just so you know, before I go, a guy called Amsterdamaged on the other channel, and I know the name. I kind of think he might have been a pretend right-wing person at one point, but he's the only person out of all the people that I've deliberately gone and poked recently with the Owen Jones stuff that wants to come and debate with me, because he doesn't see me as an equal. It doesn't see me as a political adversary. It's quite obvious what he sees me as. Yeah. So I think what they think is, because they were all scared when I showed them the big channel. Well, obviously, I've got rid of the big channel now. So he's doing his usual one mover stuff. Yeah. And in his one move, he's already revealed so much about himself. So I've given him this address to this channel. And I've said to anybody, if he comes on, let me know. Amsterdamaged. And if he does, the link will be put straight out there when I'm in studio. And he will have a chance to come straight on. And I'll ask anybody who's in the studio with me at the time to jump out, so he doesn't feel there's two people on one or anything else. I've told him, if you want to come and debate me, I'm not even the smartest person in the room. Come and put your money where your mouth is. Because if you can't defeat me, who isn't a professional debater and who isn't full of every single bit of knowledge on the planet, then you've got no chance of any of the rest of us. So, yeah, by all means, put your money where your mouth is. I've given him the address. I've given him the means, and I will be putting the links out for the studios. And I kept my promise on the video I made on the other channel, which was, if he answered me, I wouldn't be a troll, which I haven't been. He was unable to answer a simple question, which is why I know I've already got him. He won't come, but I'm holding out hope that he just might, because I called them out for none of them having the balls to even make a comment anymore. So he made a comment to prove that he had the balls. So he's got to come 2 steps further now and come to this channel and have the balls to come and actually talk. And there'll be no bullying of him. There'll be no picking on him. If he comes over, I will let him talk. I will let him bury himself. I will let him have his opinion. Hopefully we might even have a good conversation. But I'm still willing to bet Amsterdamaged, even with my tiny little channel, my tiny little audience, we still won't have the guts to come and have a conversation. Not a shouting match, not a slagging match, a conversation. I challenge you, or any of your lefty buddies, I'll challenge any single one of you, socialists, communists, whatever. I don't care which of you it is. I don't care if it's all of you at once. I really don't. I don't give a damn. You can come in and you can have 8 people in the studio. I'll be by myself. Fine. Come over then. When I put the link out next, jump in and talk your shit. And we'll talk. Not shout, we'll talk. But all I'm hearing is you putting people down, you bigging up, and never actually stepping over the mark to back up your beliefs. Put your money where your mouths are. Step up. So you can be keyboard warriors and you can call me names. You can do all those other things. And I confess, I have deliberately provoked you. So come and put me in my place. You did your one move by trying to talk down to me. So my counter move is to say, you want a debate? You've got one. It's waiting right here for you. 500 people declined that debate so far. Are you going to be number 501? who runs away? Or are you going to be the one soul that had the guts to actually come on and have just a conversation? I'm very interested to see. I think you already know the answer. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. And before, just one last thing. Let me just head you off at the pass here. Before you go, why would I want to come on and debate with you? Blah, 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 blah. Because you offered. Because you asked. Because you said you would. It didn't come from my mouth. Came from yours. Money where your mouth is. Or the other option is, if you don't want to put your money where your mouth is, that's absolutely fine. Never speak on my channel again then. I think that's fair, isn't it? Anyway, Vin, I hope you're having a good day, mate. I really do. So we could have some fun with this guy. But like I say, I won't even troll him, pick on him. I don't need to. Can't wait. That name is such a mark. Do you know what the word mark means? Or is that just coincidence? That's interesting. I need to test StreamYard with OBS. So someone jump into my live if they can. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, I see what you're saying. Okay, someone jump in my live if they can. Do you hear that, guys? So I'm going to be a little bit taken up. But if someone could jump in with Captain there, give him a help. Like I say, Captain, I might be around a bit later on. I just need to go and take some painkillers. I should be doing it now, but I'm just finishing this stream up. But it's just. I'm not. Again, I don't want to talk about it. It's just ever since I went to that hospital visit, I'm going to be having words with her when I go and see her again, because she's messed my leg up now for, I don't know how many weeks ago it was. Was it like 3 weeks ago? I'm still in pain. I shouldn't be, and it's getting in the way of making videos and stuff. So I need to have some words with them, because at very minimum, they shouldn't be hurting me like that. I mean, yeah, I can't. Again, I don't want to go into detail, but she's hurt me badly. Just, yeah. Anyway. The name rings a bell. Yeah, exactly. I know that name. I know that name. So it's the same go with the 43 subs and also goes by. I don't know. I don't know. When I looked at his channel, what did he have? It was something like 43 subs. It wasn't many. It wasn't many. And his account was set up in 2016. That's what I do remember. Tom, Mark to me is an army term. Okay, mate. Okay. Sorry, to me, a mark is a wrestling fan or a mug who will buy into the bullshit that a worker is selling. So, and a worker being either a wrestler in the actual industry or someone who is working people to believe what they say. So that's why I asked. I'm just laser cutting. What are you laser cutting then? I think he's been on X, mate. Is that where it is? Is that where it is? Do you know, I thought I remembered banning him from another channel years ago, but I'm not sure. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is X. That could be it. I still can't get StreamYard to, not StreamYard, sorry, Prism to output to X. It's doing my nutting. But what I can tell you, Vin, is that this phone is, this is the next one, but this phone's running cold. Halving the bit rate and taking a little bit off the processor, my phone is running cold with Prism now. And we are not, we're going through battery, but we're not cooking the battery anymore. That's done. So literally changing the bit rate and just tuning the processor down by 5% has turned the phone cold from cooking. So just so you know, mate, it's actually worth doing, because it will extend the life of your phone by a long, long way. And it will stop us having those problems charging it as well. Right. I'm with you, Steve. Well, thanks for explaining that. Yeah, thanks for explaining that, because obviously it comes with a lot of baggage from the American side. I will explain it all at some point, because you're gonna hear more and more in common vernacular. So, right, Captain. So, Captain, I just want to say, so if like I said, I'm going to probably disappear for a while now. I'll come back and have a look at your channel later on, see if you've done anything. If you haven't, then we can always do something where you just say to me, "Are you free now?" And I'll go, "Yeah," and we'll jump on live or something. We'll have to, I don't know, we'll have to figure out some kind of contact details or something at some point. I don't mean it's not going to be on your nerves every day, but something better than what we've got at the moment. My email is thisiszeronews@gmail.com. If you wrote me an email through there, I'll always give you my WhatsApp or anything that you use. You're welcome to that. Might have to walk you through that. No problem at all. Be honest with you, I was getting wound up with it because I couldn't find it even after I'd done it. And then I realized that, oh yeah, it's not intuitive the way Prism runs, but I did find it in the end, and I'll show you. In fact, now I've got the two phones, I might even make a video and show you. It really isn't too bad once you found it. So I'll show you, mate. I'll show you, and let me know what you think as well afterwards. See if you think the same thing. If you think it's much better, because it's honestly, it's night and day with mine. It's night and day. But I want to thank everybody for coming on. Again, I know it's not been my best, but it's not been my worst. It's just before Christmas. And again, I wanted to invite Amps the Damaged and Co. Again, even though you were disrespectful to me in your post, I told you I would not reciprocate. Come over, talk to me. I'll treat you as fellow human beings until you treat me as anything less. And we can have a good conversation. We can have an honest conversation. And if your sole purpose is just to come on and destroy me, give it your best fucking shot. No, and I won't be using what's the word? I won't be swearing at you. I won't be losing my rag. Take your best shot. I'm stood right here as a target. My channel's never been so small. I've never been so vulnerable. This is your only chance to win, because none of you have managed it in 7.5 years. So this is me at my weakest and most vulnerable. Give it your best. I invite you to. I could do with a practice, and you guys are so morally superior. Come and put me in my place. Come and show me why I'm wrong and you're right. Come and show me why you have the right to be morally superior over me. Make your moral arguments. Make your arguments for socialism, but also answer the damn fucking question that I asked you, which was, why are people going with Jones over Starmer? What is it that Starmer's disappointed you with in socialism that's made you turn away from him? I think I know, but I want to hear the left's opinion on the left. So as I said to you in my last video, you can say what you want about me. You can say what you want to me, but answer the fucking question. If I let you come on, you can call me what you want, as long as you answer the fucking question. I think that's fair. I think that's more than fair. So I'm not asking for to be friends, but I'm also guaranteeing you safe passage, where we're not all just going to scream and shout at you and call you losers or anything. It won't be like that. It won't be like that. I'm not a bully. So it's just you and me. But just understand, you'll be locked in here with me, not the other way around. So I'm trying to tell you I'm not scared of you. Okay, so if I can take on 500 of you, then I think I can take on one of you. But that's fine. That's fine. So you've made your one move. I've made my move. Let's see if you have a second move in you. Seriously, come over and debate me. Come over and debate me. The link goes out often enough. All you got to do is pick it up. All you got to do is pick it up. And please, guys, if you see him come into the chat at any point, please get my attention on him so that I can invite him straight away to come over. I'm not going to give him a second to breathe. And the reason, because he was so certain of his superiority. And I can't wait to try and get him. I already know what's going to happen, by the way. Let me just make it a prediction for you. I won't hear from him again. Or he'll keep making shots from a distance. He won't come on. because he's a pussy, just like the rest of them are, because their arguments don't stand up to scrutiny. But every now and again, we find one or two people that will break that mold. I'm praying that he will break that mold. But unfortunately, my recollection of his name tells me that that's probably not going to happen. I don't know where I recognize it from, but I recognize it as someone who I think was banned maybe 5 years ago. So I'm not holding out my hope, but that challenge has gone out to all of them on there. They're all silently rating the videos down there because they're scared to speak. And yet they were pretty big mouthed before they knew that I'd had big channels. So all I'm asking them to do, I'm not even asking them to defend themselves. I'm asking them a question about Keir Starmer and Owen Jones. Why are they siding with one over the others? I'm not even attacking them. So yeah, but they want to debate me. Fine, come on, do it. Come and do it. You're all good at talking on here. Come and do it. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. You don't need to talk. Why do people feel the need to announce their intentions ahead of time? Just fucking do it. Just do it. Was it good, the bad, and the ugly? If you're going to shoot, don't talk. Yeah, I thought so, Steve. Is he a lefty or is he someone that's turned on the right and who was originally on the right? What's his angle? Because I recognize him from, you're right, from years back. Because I'm sure he was in my original ban list on my original channel a long time ago. Great to actually find you live online. YouTube is still asshole. Have a good Christmas. Bless you. Do you know what? It is great to have you on, Steve, as well. I hate the fact that somebody said the other day, that really nice guy whose name I can't think of it, Matthew, I think it is. He's a really, really nice guy. He's always telling jokes. But I think he said already, guys, he's being unsubscribed from my channel, this channel. He's been unsubscribed from this channel already. So I'm not rating my chances, but I just keep going. But what I will say is we are still growing on Getter, and we're on our way to 2,000 followers over there now. And I'm beginning to think that 10,000 and 20,000 and maybe even 100,000 isn't unrealistic over there. It's not growing massively quickly, but it's showing no signs of stopping. None. It's just been growing for the last 2 to 3 months, non-stop. No sign of slowing down. Tom, I don't know. I've just been looking at the sites he has, but I haven't looked into his back catalogue. Yeah, see, when I went onto his channel, he didn't have no videos or nothing. Yeah, do you know what? If my old channel's got any existence at all left, I'll have a look to see if he's in there. Because it might answer some stuff. My name on Getter is Tom's Fury, so TOMSFURY, at Tom's Fury. And you'll see me on there. And you'll notice, Finn, that the episodes where you have been on board have got nearly double the numbers, which is interesting. Like I say, it's not a flood of people coming in, but I'm getting notifications nearly every day that at least 1 to 5 people have joined on that day. So it's just a slow, and there's people over on Getter now who are seeing this now. By the way, to the people on Getter watching this now, the only reason your comments aren't coming through is they're still having problems trying to do comments with things like RMPT keys. So RMTP keys. So they are working on it on a login method to do it, but until then it's difficult getting your comments. But I just want you to know there's people sharing our stuff on Getter, there's people liking the stuff, there's people trying to get involved. Hopefully we can have a free-flowing dialogue between us as well. But Getter is our window to the world. You guys in America that are watching, we've even had people from Finland, India, all over the place. You really are helping grow the channel on Getter, and I appreciate the fact that you're quite forgiving over my hits and misses as well. But you are a window to the US, for us to both warn the US and for the US to also see what the hell is happening to us. So yeah, platforms like Getter have been very useful. X, I seem to have hit a brick wall. I'm not growing and I'm not getting any smaller. But I feel that there are reasons for that, especially as AI revealed that I'm one of the most censored people in terms of AI, and AI runs the show now. I still can't believe that. Why me? Why me? Probably because I've got a technical background. But even so, come on, there's technical backgrounds, and there's, doesn't mean I'm a fucking genius who can hack every system. It's, I don't know what the excuse is. Regardless, I'm the most banned person from AI in the movement. It's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. It's a crazy thing to say. Yes, it's Tom's Fury. It's at Tom's Fury on Getter. So, like I say, I think we're about 1,200, something like that. It's just a slow, steady trickle. I don't think it's monetizable at the moment, but it is a massive window into the rest of the world. And it's also uplifting for me to know that the Americans are watching, spreading the word around, and that we can get our work out that far. And also that whilst I'm having to humble myself and start again, that there is still a platform that's doing well. It's a shame that X wasn't as well, because X was really exploding at one point, and it's just come to a dead halt. And I don't think it's me or the content, because it's actually got better. I don't know what it is. I honestly do think I'm being restricted on X by its own admission. Anyway, so Vin, hopefully, whether it's when next time I do a live or when you do a live or whatever, I want to go on live with you again. There's a few things I wanted to talk to you about, and the kind of conversations I want to save for you. But as I said, so to Captain and to anybody else, I'm going to disappear for a while now, because I do need to go and take these painkillers and put something very, very hot on my leg. But I will come back and have a look later on. If there's anything I can watch backwards, I will. Or if there's anything you need me on live for, we'll work something out. I will work that out with you. And that's it. Steve, thank you for being you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for anybody that's come on. Thank you for anybody who watches this on replay. And yeah, just to remind the people on the left, come over, have your debate, have your say. There will be no ganging up on you. But the reason I'm talking to you the way I am is, if you're going to be arrogant and dismiss me, I'm going to put the challenge out for you. I'm going to call your bluff. So, for your sake, you better hope you're not bluffing, because I'm sat here waiting. With that said, time to go and get a coffee, take some painkillers, and hope this F's off really, really soon. And I will I'll check with your channel a bit later, Captain. I will check in with you, Vin, soon as well. Just give me a little while to let these painkillers kick in, and everything will be good. Thanks for the live today. It was also giving me a chance to test out a whole new bunch of equipment that you can't see, but I've got this wireless mic with with a little battery pack going in through the through port, everything, and it's running like a dream. And the phone's running nice and cold. Everything's perfect. So the more I do this, the more I'm starting to make my own equipment again. This is what I love, is when I'm making my own equipment to work the way I want it to work. And it works better than things you can buy for a lot more money. So this is me when I'm at my best, finding these ways of working around the problems. yes to Left Toys. Tom says, make my day, punks. I know what you're thinking. I'm not going to get into that speech. Yeah, exactly. Now come over, make my day, because at best we could have a good conversation that might actually be beneficial to both sides. At worst isn't my problem. Yeah, because I wouldn't be the person that would cause the worst situation to happen. But the worst situations, isn't that terrible. It's just certain people have an egg on their face. That's all. It's not the end of the world. No, what I'm trying to say is no violence, no intimidation, no bullying, nothing like that. Just pure truth. Right, I'm going to call it there. I will say I am Tom Fury. This is my small but ever-growing podcast. Please check me out on Getter. And if you're on Getter and if you've got a YouTube account, please understand I am struggling to grow my account over here. So please come over and follow me on ZeroZero News on YouTube. And to anybody that understands or has already signed up, I'm on other platforms on YouTube as well. I'm going to keep a couple of those because those numbers aren't bad, and I'm going to present them all differently. See which one comes out on top. But this channel is the one that I'll be advertising for the forever future, the way it looks. So because I'm quite pleased with the way things are going, considering the setbacks we've had. So equipment on the way. I thought some of it was going to be today. Equipment on the way. A plan for 2026. And a video I'm hoping to make later on, whether it be live, whether it be pre-recorded, I don't know. It depends on certain things. Like some of this stuff, maybe I'll make a video and then see if Vin wants to talk about some of this stuff, because some of it applies, might apply to all of us. Some of it I think many of us will have on our mind anyway. So I'll release the stuff that I want to and see if anybody wants to have a conversation about it afterwards. Right, we'll call it a day there. Thank you, everybody. I am Tom Fury. This is Zero News. Sorry, and I'm calling it a day for now. Come on, make it big.
Father, please, you can have my Led Zeppelin records.
Why is it so small?
Anything. Wimp. Britannia.
The TV is crazy and the truth has gone. I might be crazy, but I think we're done. There are people out there who are adverse to fun.
Communism is king.
It's on your news. Even your neighbor has been here. You can see it on YouTube. It's time to shine a light on all the things they don't want you. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next.
Commander Worf. Don't be a cunt.
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
Having a ball.
Fuck you, Mr. Roscoe.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
That's for
What can I do? People know the truth.
Shut the fuck up.
What's true?